So in this video we are going to learn how we can add information in our Firestore database. So in the previous video we created a user model and we are going to use this model to put the information in our Firestore database. So let's get. So in our previous video we started off by logging / signing up our user. So now we are going to store the user information in our app. Okay, so to do so we will be using a model that we created in our video in our previous video. Okay, so first of all we will need these two packages, Cloud Firestore and Firebase storage. Okay, so I'm just going to copy them and paste it. Okay, and the next I want is the Cloud Firestore. Okay, and I'll press pub get. Meanwhile, what I want to do is that I want to write the code to store our user information in our app. Okay, so let me just open the Firebase console and enable the Firebase database, Firestore database, as well as the storage. Okay, so we will create a new database over here and in production, and let me just keep this information, and the same I'll have to do for our storage. So let's just wait for it. Okay, so our database is created. So now what we will have to do is that we are going to set the rules for our database, because it doesn't allow the read and write from outside our console. So I will have to enable that. So just published and the rules are changed now, and the same I'll have to do for our storage, because we want to store the user images in our app. So we will have to do this as well, and let me just change it. Just remove this line and publish it. Okay, so this is done, as well as in our app the thing is working. Okay, so what we will have to do now is that I want to create a file as storage methods. Okay, so this file will be responsible, this file will contain the code for uploading our images in our storage. Okay, so storage methods are dot, and in this file we are going to create a class as class storage methods, and in this class we will have okay, so we want the instance of our Firebase Firestore. Okay, so to get that, in the constants file I will create the Firebase Firestore, Firebase Firestore. Okay, and I need the instance of Firebase Firestore. Okay, so this is done, and in our storage methods, so this is the code we will write for uploading our images to our Firestore, our storage in our console. Okay, so this function will be a future, and the same, it will return a string that will be the result. Okay, and we will say upload image to storage. Okay, so this will be the name, and as to get that we want the child name. Okay, as to where we want to upload our image. Okay, matlab, like it's like where we want to upload our image in our storage. Okay, so the path of the image in our storage. So for example, if I say like this, just okay, close, don't show this again. I do this upload file. So what will it do is that it will create a path just like images / storage and all that now. So what we will do over here is that we want to give the path, so we just want to give the child name. Okay, so we will do, what we will do is, well, let's just give the path ourselves, because we don't need anything else, and we will want uint8 list, and this will be a file. Okay, so, and let's just make this function an async function. And the next thing we want over here is that we want to create a reference. Okay, and the reference to our database will be, we also want to create a Firebase storage in our app. So and let's just leave it for now, because we don't want to be using the storage instance in our app elsewhere, so we only want the Firebase storage reference for our uploading of images. So let me just do this: Firebase storage dot instance dot child. Okay, so dot app, sorry, we want the reference. Okay, so dot instance dot reference. Okay, the reference will have a child, and the child will be profile images. Okay, so I'll just say profile, and the next thing I want is the user, the current user. So I want to use the ID of the current user, and I will just use it over here. So I will use Firebase auth. Let me just now remove it, and I will use Firebase auth. Let me just import it from the constants files. It should show over here. So let me just import it by myself. Import constants dot and Firebase auth dot current user dot uid. Okay, so I want the uid of the current user, and the current user can be null, so we will have to check. Okay, so we have created a reference. Okay, so now what we want to do is that we want an upload task, and the upload task will put the data to the reference that we just got, and we want to put data, and the data will be a file. Okay, and then what we want to do is that we want to take a snapshot. Okay, so we want a task snapshot, and the task snapshot will basically tell us the status of our upload task. Okay, so we want to use await for it, and we want to do upload task dot snapshot. Okay, so we will get the snapshot of our upload from our upload task, and then what we want to do is that we want to get the URL of our uploaded file. Okay, so we want to do this: await task snapshot dot reference dot get download URL. Okay, so in this case we will get the download URL of our file that we just uploaded. Okay, and the next thing we want to do is that we want to return the downloaded URL. Okay, so this is done. So now what we want to do is that we want to upload the information that the user has given to our Firestore. So to do that, what we want to do is that we want to upload the data in our app. So first of all, I will create another directory of files, Firestore methods. Okay, so these are the methods that we will use to upload our data in our Firestore. Okay, so in this file I'm going to create first of all I want to keep just the methods, so I want to, let's just leave the Firestore methods. I'll just delete it as for now, and I will create it whenever I need it again. So I will continue in the auth methods, and in the previous video I just got the reference in our sign up user. Okay, so in our sign up user, what we want to do is that we want to update the information, upload the information to our Firestore database. Okay, so what we will do over here is that then when we are creating the user with an email and password, we will get the credentials, we will get the user credential and set it to credential is equals to await. And after that, what we will do is that we will use the model, the model just we created. Okay, so I'm going to use user model. Okay, I'll import it and I'll create a user model is equals to user model. Okay, so over here what I want is that I want a UID, okay, that I will get from the credential. I will use credential dot user dot UID, and it can be null, so I will just give the user a null check operator. Okay, and the same I want to do is that I want to put the name of the student basically. So in the user model you can see that we have these fields, and I'll just rename this to I'll just rename name to username, because uh, it's a more specific field. Okay, or we can just leave it like this, because there can be many users with the same name. So yeah, let's just leave it as of now. And what we will do is that we want the username dot trim. Okay, so it will remove any extra spaces, and in the email I have just put the email. Okay, so in the photo URL as of now we don't have anything, so we will just give the brackets, the quotation marks with an empty quotation marks, and in the grade I want to give null, and the same for all other things. So because it's the first part where our user is being created, so we don't know anything about it right now. So what we will do is that we will just put empty it in here, and then in our progress of our app we will be changing the values in it. Okay, so as of now I have created the user model and I have given all the values that I need as of now. So what I want to do is that I want to push this data to our Firestore. So I will do Firestore, Firebase Firestore dot collection. The collection will be our users, and the doc will be credentials. The name of the credential will be the UID of our student, our user. So this is done, and the next thing I want is that I want to set the data, the user model, to a JSON format. So user model dot to JSON. Okay, so this is done, and this will push our data to our Firestore. So my app is running in my phone, and let me just sign up, and we will create user2 and set it as user2. Okay, let me just rename it to user1 from user1, and I will put, and it will have a space, so let me just remove it, 789. Okay, so when we will sign up we will see that it will show the user in our authentication as well as in our Firestore. There will be an entry for user2. So let me just do this, sign up and wait for it. Okay, so we have successfully signed up. Okay, so we will check in our users. Okay, so user2 is showing, as well as in our Firestore database we will check that if there is a collection, okay, so there is a collection of users with the user ID this and the email is user2, so this is working fine.